Service was launched by Ministry of Civil Aviation in December 2022 to make air travel paperless and hassle-free. The app uses facial recognition software and uses your driving license, Aadhaar card or voter ID for verification. What was earlier believed to be a government service turned out to be one operated by a private entity. Recently, concerns have been raised about data safety and a possible data breach by a contracted app developer. Dannish Anand spoke exclusively to the DigiYatra Foundation CEO to get some answers. Here's his report.
Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia launched the DigiYatra service on 1st December 2022 for passenger convenience and reducing time for airport entry and security checks. The Civil Aviation Ministry had emphasized that the service was voluntary and not mandatory. A year and 4 months later, experts are raising questions about safety of personal data being uploaded onto the app and whether it is actually being purged from airport servers after 24 hours.
We are already noticing these problems due to the ownership structure, the kind of incentives which are there, a private corporation doing it, and we need to look at how this kind of sensitive data, in which it's not only ordinary travelers who may avail of DigiYatra, but also VIPs, also state functionaries who may avail it, and what kind of data is then being made available to DigiYatra. I think it's imperative for the Ministry of Civil Aviation to start a review of this entire scheme.
In reply to an RTI query, the Ministry of Civil Aviation confirmed that user data is being handled by a private entity, which does not come under the RTI. What has raised more eyebrows is that the foundation recently suspended the services of an app developer who was arrested for an alleged cyber fraud.
The company in question is Data Evolve and was reportedly being operated by a single person. After suspending the services of the app developer, the DigiYatra Foundation asked travelers to download a new app, further raising concerns about what has happened with the data already uploaded on the old app. Speaking exclusively to CNBC-TV18, the CEO of DigiYatra Foundation said that Data Evolve had been selected on a recommendation of Niti Aayog.
They were selected through a startup challenge, which was run with Niti Aayog and Atal Innovation Mission. This was as a sort of a initiative where we wanted to build this ecosystem with the help of an Indian startup. Something which I would not like to comment on. The matter is sub judice.
Several travelers have flagged concerns about the handling of sensitive personal data by a private entity without accountability and regulatory oversight. But the foundation claims that the app is based on privacy by design.
The fundamental tenet of the DigiYatra Foundation, right, which is privacy by design. And the whole concept has been built with that fundamental tenet. And we use self-sovereign identity, which enables and empowers the passengers to take charge of their data, right? Neither the DigiYatra Foundation nor any of its support service partners can have access to the data. This data is basically stored in the in a secure wallet in the phone itself. So from that perspective, there is no central storage of any data. There is no chance of any data leakage, theft, pilferage.
The DigiYatra CEO defended the introduction of a new version of the app, saying architectural changes have made as the service is being expanded from 14 airports currently to 28 airports.
It has not ever been there and it will never ever be there because we ourselves do not have any access to the passenger's data. So suppose a passenger uninstalls the app or deletes the app, all the data goes away because it's only stored in that app, which is in the full control of the passenger. You can always say no to DigiYatra.
The DigiYatra service will be extended to 14 new airports by the end of the month, taking the total coverage to 28 airports. The foundation is now looking at passport-based authentication, which will allow the service to be extended to international passengers. But for the moment, experts are calling for a full review of the app and urgently bringing it under the regulatory supervision. In Noida, this is Dannish Anand for CNBC-TV18.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of India Business